Hi everyone, Chastity here. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm here with one of my newest babies, Sam, and Sophia right here in the background chilling. Thought I'd come on and change him. We got a little chilly day today, so I'm gonna put something a little warmer on him and have a chat. So, first of all, how is everyone doing? It's rainy here. We're just getting some of the rain, I think, coming up from Ida. We're in PA, so that's kind of all we're getting is rain. So just like washout, flooding some places and stuff like that. But it's a little bit chillier today. I think it's only supposed to be 66. So we've been having some good heat. So, taking a little bit, right? But I just wanted to come on and change this sweet boy. I am so happy to have this baby back in here in my collection. I know Tasha over at Pixie Mommies is really happy with her version that I sent her. This guy here came back to me. He was painted by myself and rooted by myself. So, and so was Miss Sophia here. Sam here was painted in Genesis. I one of the last few babies I painted in Genesis, and then Sophia here was used. She is painted in golden air dry paints. Sam has a more newborn complexion, and Sophia is more. We got a visitor over there laying. My cat Oliver. More of a older baby, peaches and cream tone. So I'm gonna start changing this guy, and I think one of the reasons I wanted to bring him on and change him is a lot of people are talking about it. He was painted in Genesis, and as of right now, I think Genesis is the future of Genesis is very unclear. Their factory is shut down right now. They don't want to be shut down permanently. They are going to look into alternate sorry, my cat is deciding he's going to bath himself in my video. They want to look into alternate ingredients for their products to continue making, their heat set paints. I don't know how how that's gonna go. They are finding it difficult to get ingredients and supplies that they need to make their paints. I know there's a lot of panic with people, especially because the mediums are sold out. If you can find them anymore, they're little teeny tiny jars of like the varnish and the thinning medium and stuff like that. And, those don't go far, I can stretch matte varnish, pretty far. I mix it with thinner, and it does just as good a job as it does straight from the jar. So and it's not as rough. So I don't feel like matte varnish needs to go on straight from the jar. But some people do use it that way, and which is fine if that works for them. But honestly, like, I know there's some people talking about maybe leaving or quitting, or they don't know what they're gonna do. Luckily for me, I now know how to paint with both mediums. You know, I'm still working on air dry, it's still a work in progress, but you know, I can. And um some people don't even want to give air dry a chance. You know, they just think it's far inferior to Genesis. And I do see a difference in Genesis compared to air dry. Um, Air dry is very much harder to work with. It's, um, you know, you have to work faster. It cures faster. I'm going to change the diaper too while I'm at it. That's a little bit old. I'm just going to get rid of it. You know, you have to work faster because it does cure faster. You have to, it can be very potent. The thing with air dry is you can't like overly thin it down, but you don't want to overly thicken it. If you know what I'm trying to say there. But you do need to work with thin layers because it can be go on quite dark, you know, and then you're kind of stuck once it dries, you know, once it starts going on and it's drying, that's it, you're stuck with what you got. So I can understand people's reserves for wanting to use it for that purpose. I don't understand the other part as being inferior to Genesis because Genesis makes a beautiful baby. I'm not going to lie. Like, but air dry can too. You know, used correctly and efficiently, you know, air dry can make a pretty beautiful baby. Like I said, I haven't tried before going with rich colors like Sam is made with air dry, so I don't know how that's gonna work. I've kind of done more of the colors like, you know, Sophia here, which is, you know, more, you know, peaches and cream, you know, baby. You know, it's definitely feels different and I can see like differences between air dry and Genesis. I have like more newborn painted air dry babies that weren't painted by me. I can bring them on one day and just compare if anybody wants to see that. But I mean, like I said, air dry is just a different medium to work with, but definitely I think worth giving a shot and to practice with, especially if you love making these dolls and you want to continue in case Genesis does not come back. Like I said, I don't know. And if you have enough paints to last, like I have plenty of Genesis paints. Like I just bought some because I'm thinking about trying Genesis again, and maybe some people are thinking, wow, it's not really a time to even go back to Genesis. The paints last forever. They really do. Like them 1 ounce jars of color will last a long, long time. You know, most people have their paints for years. So it's more the mediums, the varnishes and the thinning medium. And oh, I didn't show you what I'm going to put on him. I'm going to put on this Kate Quinn gown. It's like a cream color. It's got blue coyotes on it. And I have the little matching hat. So we're going to see how that goes because I don't tend to put hats on the rooted babies a whole lot. But yeah, the mediums don't last forever, and certainly not if you use flesh tones. You can go through those faster because you tend to use more in a flesh tone wash than you do in a color wash. I don't use flesh tones, so I'm not terribly worried about that. Um, I tend to just use colors and mix my own colors, so I'm not terribly worried about whether flesh tones are, if I can get them or not. And those are some of the ones that's sold out. Like Flesh 08 is sold out. That is one of the most used ones. And I definitely think, like, if anybody, uses Flesh 08 and is afraid, now they're not going to be able to paint because they can't get it, to try, maybe trying just using some color to produce your skin tones, like some reds. And honestly, I use red, blue, and yellow. I use some purple, and that's about it. That's pretty much what I use to create my dolls. I don't use a whole lot of other colors. I have some mixes of colors I like to use because they're already mixed. Like some variations of like green and purple and blue. They're lighter colors. They're like mixed with white, and those are like some of the ones I use for my detailing. But I don't, for my flesh tones, I just use those colors. I'm trying to get this tag off. So as far as varnishing goes, Gina Gabriel over at St. Cloud Nursery did I'm like totally photobombed by this cat cleaning himself in my video. Did a comparison of varnishes between Genesis. She did one with matte varnish and then variations of different air dry varnishes that she had. And there are good air dry varnishes that can be used as an alternative to varnish the dolls. And they do give a good matte finish. Are they as durable as Genesis matte varnish? I'm not sure. I have not a whole lot of experience in that department between the two. I've only been in, the Reborns a little over 2 years. I don't have any babies. Well, I have a baby. He's almost 2 years old. And, he definitely needs some touch-ups. But, he was a little bit shiny in those places anyways when I got him. So I don't handle him a whole lot. So I just think that's from, he's still about the same. Look at him. He is so stinking cute. There, beyond words. Sorry, ladies, this baby won't be ever go for sale. I don't ever foresee. I had another one and I sold him and cried when I packed him up, and I love this version way more. So, I'm not talking about the one that Tasha has, but a different one that was in my collection. But anyways, I'm gonna cover his little fist. It's cold. So yeah, and I don't know the durability between air dry varnish and matte varnish. Genesis matte varnish. I love the feel of Genesis matte varnish. Like I do, honestly. I think I love it compared to air dry varnish. I have plenty of Genesis matte varnish to last for some time. I won't give my address in case somebody no. And no, I have plenty to last me for some time if I choose to use it. Sophia here is varnished with air dry. My Sophia Grace that I painted, I varnished her with Genesis matte varnish, and from what I heard, like sometimes um baking air dry can change the color and turn them a little orangier, which happened with her, and I had to go and tone her down. So um I decided I would get an air dry varnish to try, and I bought the Duraclear Ultra Matte in the little bottles, and then I have a container of it. Um, and I bought some Reborn FX, which was totally by accident. It was the wrong thing that I wanted. I wanted to try their Velveteen matte varnish, but I have some of that too. So I have like air dry varnishes that I can try and use, and you can use them on top of Genesis. You can seal Genesis paints just fine with an air dry varnish. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Nobody's really going to have, any choice but to do that. I seriously wish I got this solid color to go with this gown, but that's okay. It looks really cute. He looks really cute in this. But what is I say? Yeah, you can go over matte Genesis with an air dry varnish just fine. Like you can. And it can be, I have a feeling that's what's going to have to be done in order for um people to continue to be able to reborn. Their paints are gonna last them like years, I'm sure. Them paints that I have, that I just got in the 1 ounce jars, if I decide to paint with Genesis again, I am considering it. I like the air dry too. So um I have both options there. I do want to continue to make my darker skin tone babies, and those are much more better with Genesis. I just really got to get the oven issue figured out first. But I love how fast I can paint a baby with air dry. I can see results anyways. Where was I? Varnishes. Sorry, I got a little trailed off there. The the air dry varnishes, like I said, they work really well over Genesis paints, and there are some people that use them anyways. Yeah, you can get the one that's like soft touch varnish, and you use something in it to give it that matting, and and you know some people use cornstarch, some people use diatomaceous earth or a mixture. I used cornstarch. I used the ultra matte, and it's still like it's not really completely matte, but like matting on vinyl is very difficult. um I used cornstarch in mine, and some people don't like to use cornstarch because it's like a food product and they think it's going to attract bugs, but it dries on there. I'm not worried about attracting bugs or anything like that. It's like dry on there. It's and completely like dry. They don't smell like cornstarch. They don't like it's not like open powder on the babies. So I'm not really worried about cornstarch. That was actually used by um Angie Jones, who came up with the recipe quite some time ago. And she still uses it, after years. So I'm not worried about it. It works really well. I'd like to try the diatomaceous earth just to see the variations in the matting between the diatomaceous earth and the cornstarch. but um, it gives a much different finish. Like Maddie and Fiona, Sophia here is a little like softer compared to him because of the matte Genesis matte varnish has like much more texture to it. She has a little bit more of a texture compared to my Huxley. Huxley was matted with soft touch. So there's like a little bit of a difference, but not much. And I think some people think that's going to be the hardest part, I think, is not so much the artist, it's going to be the consumer, the customers, the clients, the people that are buying the dolls are going to be the ones that's going to be the hardest to transition over. Because sorry, I had to get a drink of coffee. That's a long topic. I'm sorry. There's very much people, artists for years from what I've, videos that I've seen, people that have talked, pushing that Genesis is so much better. And I've actually heard people tell people not to buy dolls that are painted in air dry. So, I'm not going to name names, but, it's somebody I follow on Facebook and everything like that. And in some of her videos, like, or in her talking, I've heard her tell people, that she don't find air dry. And other people have said it too, but, to tell people not to buy air dry because it just, the problems it can pill and it can crack and it can, fade and it can do this and it can do that. And all the same while, like, I personally know how she bakes her dolls and know that she doesn't even bake her dolls at the correct temperatures and everything. She's probably not curing her paints correctly. I know she doesn't varnish her dolls. So, I don't understand that concept. That's about all I'm going to say on that. I don't really want to talk bad. So air dry, that's just untrue. Air dry can be just as good as Genesis. Air dry, can, be just as nice. Just like I said, people have been drilled in their head. And I mean, Genesis babies are beautiful. Like, he's just so pretty. I just adore how he's painted and how I done him. And my other Genesis babies, I like my air dry babies too. Like I said, there's a little bit difference. There is. But I just, that's where I feel like that's going to be the problem. It's just going to be the people that are buying the dolls that are going to have the problem with, there's some people that won't even buy an air dry doll. That they won't, So, and then the varnish on top of that, because there's people that believe that, Genesis matte varnish is the only way to go. And, honestly, I feel like it shouldn't be the artists that leave the community at all because of that. It should be the people that just won't give them a shot, whatever, don't buy any more dolls, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to go on the used market now and try to find dolls that, are painted in Genesis and varnished in Genesis. And, heaven forbid you need them rematted because you're going to end up with air dry. Matte varnish, the Genesis matte varnish shortage, the people that have it, it's only going to go so far. That's a product we may not see for a long time. So anybody, I know I don't have a lot of followers, but anybody out there, please, please, don't give artists a hard time. And if they're have to use an air dry product, let them, give it a shot. It's nice. They're, it's nice. They're just as nice. And don't listen to the ones that tell you that air dry isn't the way to go, because that is unfair. Sorry for my rambling. I know it's a little bit everywhere. I just did want to talk about that because there is so much talk about that. And, there are people panicking. And I mean, a lot of artists are panicking. And I'm sure there are probably people that, buy the dolls that are panicking too, because, they are collectors, and they're probably afraid that they're going to not be able to get dolls anymore, and stuff like that. And that's going to be completely untrue. I don't think that's going to happen. I think, they have a shortage right now of getting supplies, and I don't think that's going to be forever. I think the biggest thing with Genesis hit is going to be financially. So when they are able to get the stuff to make their products again, are they going to financially be able to open back up? I think that is going to probably be their biggest worry at that point, is to be able to financially open back up. So, it may be, a few years before we see any kind of heat set products. Who knows? They're just saying maybe next year, but now they're talking about changing a formula, and that takes time. That's going to take a lot of time for testing, because these are heat curing paints. So you have to, that's going to take time to actually do that kind of testing. So who's to say when that will be? So I guess I'm going to end this video. I'm going on way too long, and probably ain't nobody going to watch all of it. I just want to say, don't panic. Enjoy the dolls. Enjoy your painting. Give air dry a shot. I'm sure you can do it. You can shoot me a question. I can give tips on anything I've learned. I'm glad to help out with air dry. Maybe I might do some videos painting with air dry. There are some good ones out there. Tanya of Cute and Cuddly Nursery, she has some good videos. In fact, that's what helped me with the golden products. She has some good videos painting with air dry. She's no longer painting. She's retiring out of it for other reasons, but she does have those videos up. She just won't be making anymore. So that's where I was thinking maybe I might start up some of my own painting with air dry, just to kind of help people, because it's a little bit harder medium to work with than Genesis. I love both. That's my struggle, is I definitely love both. I love the richer colors that Genesis gives, and I love the quicker results of the air dry, and the fact I don't have to bake. I don't have to wait for paint to dry to bake, all that good stuff. We'll go in that to another day. But look at Mr. Chill over there. See him? Right there. After he bathed himself and everything like that, now he's just gonna chill out. But yeah, if anybody's interested in videos, leave a comment, and I might be able to work on, just some like painting videos, like maybe some tips, and just do a video of me doing, painting, just to kind of, again, show, not quite a tutorial. I think those are a little bit more difficult because I got a few tutorials out there. And the thing with tutorials is every vinyl's different. Every baby you're gonna paint. I don't follow a paint by number system. I just paint. So I go with the color that I'm seeing at that moment. And that can be different from every baby. So that's why I don't want to do a tutorial, but I can, show you like how I mix, or, how I apply the paint that way, and give a good base idea on how to work with them. There are some air dry paint systems out there that offer flesh tones. I don't use those ones, but I use colors and everything. So, I mean, it's not hard to do. It's just, like I said, applying the paint and working it before it dries. But anyways, I'm sorry. I'm going to get off of here now. This video is very long. I'm not sure people are going to sit through and watch it all. I hope so, just to kind of hear everything that I had to say. But I'm glad, like, thankful for the ones that did sit and listen and hear me out. Yeah, baby Sam and Sophia. Maybe next video I'll do a Sophia Huxley comparison video between the two sculpts. Have a good day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.